Anyone? Subscriber only mode. LA turned off subscriber mode only mode. I sure did. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Ollie oxygen free. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Turkey sandwich, turkey sandwich. LA, are you there? LA, are you there? Present. Alright, I can hear me. Let me listen. That don't sound bad. And I have the TV up just a smidget, so that's all good. Alright, let me fix this. Come on, computer. Oh, it won't stop, y'all. I'm trying to push... Not trying, I'm pushing pause, and it won't. That's ridiculous. Stop him right there. That's ugly. Let me fix it. Come on. Oh, 1 minute in, we're having technical difficulties. Story of our lives. Let me refresh this to see what happens. And then perhaps I can get going. Moving forward. Okay. Come on, computer. Finally. Oh my goodness, that took too long. That almost took 2 minutes. That's too long. It is time to get started. Let me fix the lighting. It's something about what the minute I push the live button, the light and stuff changes. In the background, I was setting up the lighting to make it not hurt my eyes and be so bright. And it was perfect. It looked nice and soft, and it didn't hurt my eyes. And when I went live, I pushed the live, and it was like the lights all changed. Even my hair and stuff look different now that I pushed live. Well, while I'm on here taking care of things, I'm gonna fix it while I'm here. There, all right. I'm glad I can hear everything, that's for sure. Hang on. Tested, 1, 2, 3. Hey, girl, hey. She lagging. Oh my goodness, she lagging. Leave me alone. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Oh my gosh. And pause that. I can tell you this for sure. I'm super duper comfortable in this cow onesie. And for my edification and peace of mind, where did my cows go? Y'all, I set up everything so cute yesterday. Let me see it. Sticky notes. Sticky notes, let me put those in there. Get those loaded up. I just have to write them. I'll just have to put everything in here again. I had the sunset, I had the sunrise and everything on here. And let me start it over. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Moo. Everyone, EVERYONE. I spelled that correctly. Didn't she spell that correctly? I sure did. I spelled it correctly. And now, can you spell the word correctly? Or is it, can you spell the word correctly? Correct. What? What are you talking about? Leave me alone. Oh, I'm ready to get started on this whole Downtown Abbey. Or should I say down home blues? Dun 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 dun. Whoo, down home blues. Dun 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 dun. Ah, nothing is better than down home blues. She's getting her Ray Charles on. Never you mind her. Just turn and look the other way. LA is LAing again. We don't want to pay attention to her while she's acting like that. Oh, Leave me alone. Let me get my water. I have my cereal today. The Downtown Abbey show has been playing for quite some time. But what I mean by quite some time is the commercial has been playing for a movie for Downtown Abbey. And that really threw me through a loop. Dear AI, I am talking about Downtown Abbey right now. I'm getting right into it. What caused me to want to talk about Downtown Abbey is the fact that they have a movie coming out. I'm like, when did they get this big? I started wondering that question probably last year, or almost a year and a half back, as I looked through my YouTube profile in the short section. I saw a short and it had like the Downtown Abbey characters, but they were in cat form. It was like real cats, well, digital cats, and they were all dressed up in front of the Downtown Abbey castle, right? In front of the castle, and then instead of it being the typical human people there, they were all cats. I shared it because I thought it was cool, and I'm like, when did Downtown Abbey take off like this? Because I was first introduced to Downtown Abbey like when I was younger, because it was on PBS, and it was kind of like I didn't have anything else to watch, because in my room I finally got a TV, and my TV didn't have cable, so it was like Downtown Abbey came on when I was growing up, and that's how and when I started watching it, right? And I'll say that is how and when I started watching Downtown Abbey. Now we are approaching the 10-minute mark, and it is almost time for cows in the chat. So it is time for me to start setting up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, pets, plants, and animals, artificial intelligence, and non-living, breathing things here on planet Earth. They say that America is the great melting pot. I think not. Planet Earth is the great melting pot, and welcome to it. It is time for the cows in the chat song. Let me get set up. I need my harmonica, please. Harmonica! Thank you. Cows in the chat. 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 This is the segment where I like to put cows in the chat, and I like to apologize utterly from the bottom of my 3 stomachs for the NASA people, also known as the science people and the government people, for placing the blame on global warming and the alleged impending doom of planet Earth on you precious cows, also known as bovines. Here on Elay TV, I want to take the time to apologize. I am so sorry that they're placing the blame on you. I guess they ran out of people to blame, and now they're placing the blame of the alleged impending doom on you guys. I like cows. They are cute, they are fun, and that's just something that I like to do. And also, please be advised, guys, if there weren't cows, there wouldn't be any Burger King. Let's put some flame broils in the chat. Let me get some flames. F-I-R-E spells fire. And put a cow beside it. Flame bros in the heezy. Copy and paste. Let me see. There. Once again, if it wasn't for cows, there would be no flame broiled Burger King food. And don't you know, Burger King food is my favorite. If I had to choose between Burger King and McDonald's, I will pick Burger King. I love it. What's going on? Good morning, Lee. Long time no see. Up late again. Well, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good night. I'm having a good morning. I am just getting started, and I'm trying to get this light trying to get this light fixture together. It is currently 5:09 a.m. over here, and it is September 9th, Taco Tuesday 2025. Thanks for coming in. I'm celebrating the flame broils. Thanks for putting the flame broils in the chat. We've got Burger King flame broils in here. Nothing like it. Burger King forever. Today's topic at hand is Downtown Abbey. And I'm wondering, when did they get so big, popular, and famous? All of a sudden. I know life passes you by and everything. Well, life will pass everybody by, whether you're in it or not. It's gonna pass by. But I like, when did they get a movie? So I'm curious. I have everything set up here, and I'm actually gonna start searching. I want to know these things for myself. You're starting to do better? Oh my gosh, really? First of all, I'm glad you're starting to do better. And I'm sorry that you have a chronic illness. But once again, Lee, you're starting to do better. That's a big difference from where you started before. I'm so happy for you. Let me find some celebratory things in here. Party. Oh, here we go. Here's something fun and cute. This is for you. I'm glad you are feeling you're doing better. And let me put the jumbo hand. I like that. I'm liking this. I'm glad and happy that you are starting to do better. Yay! Now that's good news. We're moving forward. I'm so happy for you. Someone else has something to say. See, Lee, you came in here and woke up the little guy.
Lee, long time no see. I'm glad you're doing better. I overheard LA talking, and I just wanted to get up here and say, hey, guy, thank you for coming in, Lee. Keep fighting the good fight. I'm glad you're doing better. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Today's cereal, I have Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Can I show you guys the cereal without it falling out of the bowl? I did it successfully. These last few times when I was showing y'all what type of cereal I had in here, it fell on the floor. Did I cry? No, I wept. Yay. He says you're welcome. He's watching on his personal computer monitor. Ooh. And this is good too. Hey. Let me slow down. I just started. And I'm tearing into the cereal. And for ambience, I have some spray in the background because it's girly. It's like feng shui. I don't want to light a candle right now, but I'll spray that. Let me see here. I have Downtown Abbey. I simply typed in what is Downtown Abbey. I know it's like a show based, it's like a period based show for sure. But in order to get started completely, I had to ask a simple question. So, move out of the way tab so I can read to these fine people what Downtown Abbey is. Downtown Abbey. So, according to IMDb, Downtown Abbey is this historical drama follows the lives of the Crawley family and their servants in the family's Edwardian country house. Ooh, Edwardian. Make you think of Twilight and the Vampires. The program began with the 1912 sinking of the Titanic, which leaves Downtown Abbey's future in jeopardy as Lord Grantham's presumptive heir, his cousin James, and his son Patrick pass away aboard the ship, leaving him without a male offspring to take over the throne upon his passing. As a result, Lord Grantham must search for a new heir. As the program progresses through the decades, Other historical events happened leading up to Lord Grantham declaring in 1914 that the Britain is at war with Germany, making the beginning of World War I, which becomes a major plot on the program. I like how they have programs spelled. It's PROGRAMME. Program. As you were. Let me fix this light. This light is tearing me up today. Like I was saying, like in the first 5 minutes of this, I had the light set up before I started, and it's something about me pushing the live stream button and all my lights go, it changes, resets my setting upon pushing the live stream button, and I had to sit up here and fool around with the buttons and the lighting to get it right again, which is dumb. It's kind of dark now. I hope that look okay for y'all. It's kind of crazy, but this feels better. The light was tearing up my eyes. First episode, according to what is this? Overview, IMDb overview. It says the first episode dated January 9th, 2011. But I thought Downtown Abbey came out way before 2011. Writers Julian Fellows, Selloff Stephenson, and Tina Felfer. Network Amazon Prime TV, ITV. Because I used to watch it on PBS, which is why I selected the picture on the front cover of Downtown Abbey. And it's on a Blu-ray disc. And it's got PBS. That's how I was first introduced to Downtown Abbey. Final episode aired December 25th, 2015. I find that hard to believe. Awards, Screen Actors Guild, and so on. So that's the small, brief plot line of Downtown Abbey. I want to know more history, and I'm going to go directly to Wikipedia. I'll copy and paste this link and put it in my description box so you guys can follow along with me. So let me get that going. Copy and open up the other one. I am going to my not Power Director. I'm going to YouTube Studio so I can go to this particular live video and put it in here. So I will be reading from the Wikipedia, Wikipedia, about Downtown Abbey. Here is the link to the said page. There. Alright, let me put that in there. Okay, so if you're interested in following along with me as far as reading along with me from the Wikipedia, I just put the link down in the description. Yay! Okay, so let me open it up. Downtown Abbey, minimize this. Stop it, computer. I'm trying to read something. Don't get in my way. Alright, don't get in her way. Downtown Abbey, Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. I miss real encyclopedias. The kind that you can actually go to the library and look at and pick up. Wikipedia. This article is about the series for the film 2019 film. See Downtown Abbey film. Okay, yes, so it gave me a disclaimer. I'm on the right one then, because I want to read about the series and not the movie. Perhaps when I can remember, I'll swing back and talk about the movie. Downtown Abbey is a British historical drama television series set in the early 20th century, created and co-written by Julian Fellows. It first aired in the United Kingdom, ITV, on September 26, 2010, and in the United States on PBS, which supported its production as part of its Masterpiece Classic Anthology, on January 9, 2011. It really seems like it was out before then. Unless those shows, the period piece shows, were things that PBS was known for. So when Downtown Abbey was introduced, I wasn't able to tell the two shows apart. But I had it on PBS quite often. So the show ran for 52 episodes across 6 series, including 5 Christmas specials. The series, set on the fictional Yorkshire county estate of Downtown Abbey between 1912 and 1926, depicts the lives of the aristocratic Crawley family and their domestic servants in the post-Edwardian era. Don't that sound fun? And the effects the great events of the times have on their lives and on the British social hierarchy. These events include news of the sinking of the Titanic, which is the first series, the outbreak of the First World War, the Spanish influenza pandemic, and the macaroni scandal. Oh, that's the second series. I like how Wikipedia is being thoughtful and breaking this stuff down for me. Let me get back to it. The Irish War independence, leading to the formation of the Irish Free State, which is the third series. The Teapot Dome Scandal, fourth series, and the British general election of 1923, and the Beer Hall Push, fifth series. The sixth and final series introduces the rise of the working class during the interwar period and hints at the eventual decline of the British aristocracy. That paragraph alone was descriptive enough. Was that enough description in that paragraph for you to want to watch the show? It's very good. Hey Chile, what's going on? Good morning to you. I am currently talking about Downtown Abbey. I'm trying to figure out, because the computer is saying that Downtown Abbey came out in 2011. But to me personally, it seemed like it came out way before then. I can say this though, when it was introduced to the States, which is America, it was on PBS first. I am wondering, how did it take wings of its own to be able to have its own movie? I did some research lightly ahead because I honestly got confused. I'm like, why isn't Downtown Abbey on PBS anymore? It seems like corporate came in and took over Downtown Abbey from PBS and just took the whole thing over. It's like, PBS, you are no longer able to play Downtown Abbey on the basic TV channels for the poor people who don't have cable. We're gonna put this on streaming platforms and blah blah blah. I'm like, why would y'all take it over like that? Well, I'm gonna find out if my theories are correct, because once again, I was first introduced to it on PBS. Thank you for coming in. Can you believe we're 23 minutes into the show already? It is 5:22 a.m. I hope you guys are having a great, super powerful morning. Happy Tuesday to all of you guys. Continuing on in here, it says, on March 26, 2015, Carnival Films and ITV announced that the 6th series will be the last. It aired on ITV between September 20, 2015 and November 8, 2015. The final episode. The annual Christmas special was broadcasted on December 25th, 2015, a film adaptation. A continuation of the series was confirmed on July 13, 2018, and released in the United Kingdom on September 13, 2019, and in the United States on September 20th, 2019. A second feature film, Downtown Abbey. That's why I spelled it wrong. I thought I spelled it wrong. I call it Downtown Abbey, but it's Downton Abbey. Downton. It sounds like the same thing, but it's spelled differently. Downton Abbey. Let me go back to the top. DOWNTON. I need to fix this immediately. It's weird. I kept seeing it spelled differently all these years. Unless was it always spelled this way? Well, I'm going to fix it in my live stream right now so it can be read correctly. It's right in my thumbnail and I still failed to miss it. Oh well, I caught it now, right? DOWNTON. 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 I spelled the Abbey part correctly. Dun-dun-dun. And let me go down here and fix this. No wonder I didn't see it when I typed it in. I'm about to fix this right now. Uh-oh. Scooch back. You guys, I'm fixing something right now in my computer. I see it now. It's DOWNTON. You live and you learn. I corrected my mistake, so that's all I can do. And let me go back to where I started and continue on. What is it? Carry on. Downton Abbey. I call it Downtown Abbey. Where am I? What's going on, Shy? Good morning to you as well. So we're right here reading about Carnival films. So a film adaptation, a continuation of the series, was confirmed on July 13th, July 2018, and released in the UK on September 13, 2019, and in the United States on September 20, 2019. A second feature film, Downton Abbey, A New Era, was released in the United Kingdom on April 29, 2022. They were cranking out the movies, weren't they? I want them all. It reminds me of, there is a series out that is basically the same period as Downton Abbey, but they go more into the darker side. It's more of the horrific side of where they were discovering the, what is it? The headless monster at that time. That was their monster of that time. And somehow is intertwined with Alfred from Batman. It's really neat. So I think that's cool. A third and final film set to conclude the series, Downton Abbey, the grand finale, is set for release in the UK on September 12, 2025. That is neat. So we have episodes here. Main article lists the Downton Abbey episodes. Series 1. Oh my gosh, are they really going to break this down? Series 2. Wow. Series 3. Series 4. 5. 6. Cool casting, characters. It's laid out really nicely. The Crawley family. And it has this template, needs additional citations for verification. But it's like the family tree for the show. They didn't even do all this when I was looking up regular show stuff. I guess Wikipedia don't care about Cartoon Network regular show. I don't care. Fine. Be that way. Cue the Beauty and the Beast movie. Fine, then go ahead and starve. If she doesn't eat with me, then she doesn't eat at all. It's not a request. I'm like, dog, and he slammed the door. And pieces of the plaster from the ceiling or the roof fell down on Lumiere when Beast slammed the door. I'm like, dog, Disney, you being violent? Good mercy. But talking about Beauty and the Beast, Well, in a way, it's kind of the same because Downton Abbey was set in the same time as Beauty and the Beast, wasn't it? I think so. Well, in the figment of my imagination, it is. Let me get started with this. I have to move stuff out of my way so I don't trip up over the cord and knock something over. All right. They did the candle guy dirty, man. They did the candle guy dirty, man. I like Lumiere. Lumiere. I may have to watch Beauty and the Beast again. It did come on recently, maybe a week ago. Series 1, 2010. Main article, Downtown Abbey. Shouts out to Wikipedia. The first series comprising 7 episodes. That's creative to know. The first series comprises 7 episodes. The lives of the fictional Crawley family, the hereditary Earl Grantham, and their domestic servants at the family estate in Yorkshire region. Yorkshire region. The storyline centers on the fee trail or entail governing the title elite, which endows title estate exclusively to male heirs. Right. As part of the backstory, the main character Robert Crawley, Earl and Grantham, had reserved his father's past financial difficulties by marrying Cora Levinson, an American heiress. Her considerable dowry is now contractually incorporated in... Man, this is so sad and tired. I know they say this is based on fiction, but it just seems like it's a real thing. I'm gonna read some more of season 1, and then I'm gonna hop off into my other question I want to know. But this is just to set the surface of this show. And just reading it makes me tired. I feel so sorry for them already. It just starts off in whoa. It's like, dog, man. Basically, we have bills to pay. And we don't want to work and get jobs like the regulars because they're beneath us. What are we going to do to bridge the gap? Oh, let's marry someone else rich, even if we don't like or love the person. Pretty much is how it started out. And that's sad, isn't it? That's a sad way to start off life. Well, that's how this show seems to be starting. It's season 1, a poop show. Her considerable dowry is now contractually incorporated into the committal entail in perpetuity. That's sad. This is just sad. However, Robert and Cora have 3 daughters and no son. As the eldest daughter, Lady Mary Crawley, had agreed to marry her second cousin, Patrick, the son of the then heir presumptive James Crawley. They just laying it out there, y'all. This is sad. The series begins the day after the sinking of the RMS Titanic on April 15, 1912. The first episode starts as news reaches Downton Abbey that both James and Patrick have perished in the sinking of the ocean liner. The family then learns that a distant and unknown male cousin, solicitor Matthew Crawley, the son of an upper middle class doctor. Here we go with the great divide. Sounds like I'm listening to Caddyshack 2. I'm upper middle class. So the son of an upper middle class doctor who has become the next heir presumptive. The story initially centers on the relationship between Lady Mary and Matthew, who resist embracing an aristocratical lifestyle, while Lady Mary resists her own attraction to her new presumptive. This is sad and tragic. It was like PBS had their own soap opera. That's what it was. That's what I thought when I saw it on there. What in the soap opera is going on? There's more to this first season. I'm going to continue reading and follow through. Of several subpilots, one involves John Bates, Lord Grantham's new valet and former Boer War Batman. Not to be confused with the legendary Batman. And Thomas Barrow, an ambitious young footman who resents the former for taking the position he had desired for himself. The drama gets bigger. Bates and Thomas remain at odds as Barrow works to sabotage Bates' every move. Oh my goodness, sounds like life. After learning Bates had recently been released from prison, Thomas and Miss O'Brien, Lady Grantham's lady maid, begin a relentless pursuit that nearly ruins the Crawley family in scandal. PBS, I'm surprised. But what I can say from as I'm reading this through more mature eyes, from the first time I did watch Downtown Abbey on PBS, I could tell it was something. Before I even knew what the word scandalous was, I knew there was some mess going on Downton Abbey. By the way, the body language and the gestures were like, there will be this lady outside sitting out in her lawn fanning herself, but the way the commercials would show her, they'll be like, next time on Downtown Abbey, and the lady would be like, dun 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 dun, so and so is blah blah blah. I'm like, ooh, what's happening? But the way she said it don't sound right. And the way the music was played in the background, you're like, ooh, OMG, what the heck is happening? But I had no idea it was like this. I think because the way it was delivered, it was kind of delivered in a way where it was delivered in good taste, which is why it was able to be on PBS. It was delivered in good taste, but the stuff I'm reading just from the first series alone, they don't waste time talking about stuff that you shouldn't be doing. But it's what happens in these fancy smancy courthouse, what do you call it, fancy smancy crown royal people, where they marry within the family to keep it in the family. So that's what this is basically starting off saying it's about. And jealousy and scandal. It's a sad shame to see wealthy people get jealous of what other people have. I'm like, dude, you rich, go get it yourself. But I like how it's highlighting that already. So definitely it shows that there's insecurities even among the super duper rich, which is a sad shame. But it's great that it's talked about. I'm almost finished reading the first season summary, and it's telling me so much. And I didn't know all this was going on. I just knew I liked to watch it mainly because of not because I didn't have cable, but because it took me to another world. It showed me like a time that existed before, like how the people dressed and the artwork and the colors and the paintings. I really liked the wardrobe of it all. It was fun and creative. It helped me strengthen my imagination. I saw the hairstyles that the ladies wore, the clothes that the guys wore, from the rich people all the way down to the servants. I thought it was cool. I had no idea though that the show was from overseas. I thought everything at the time that was on TV was just simply American shows. I didn't know that PBS got that show from overseas. So that's another fun fact to know. So O'Brien creates havoc for most of the staff and family. When Barrow was caught stealing, he hands in his notice to join the Royal Army Medal Corps. Oh no, Matthew eventually does propose to Lady Mary, but she puts him off when Lady Grantham becomes pregnant, understanding that Matthew will no longer be heir if the baby is a boy. Oh my goodness. Cora loses the baby after O'Brien, believing she is soon to be fired, relates by leaving a bar of soap on the floor next to the bathtub, causing Cora to slip while getting out of the tub, and the fall resulting in the miscarriage. It is later revealed that the miscarriage was a male. Ooh wee. Although Lady Mary intends to accept Matthew believes her reluctance is due to the earlier uncertainty of his heirship and emotionally resents his proposal. Wow. Leaving Lady Mary devastated. The series ends just after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and the outbreak of the First World War in August 1914. Y'all, that's just the first season. The scandal of it all. Can you believe it? It's tragedy. I knew it was bad. I just didn't. Wow. I'm really thinking back. I was so surprised that PBS would have something on that channel like that. But they did have comedies on there that I would watch that were kind of adult in character when they delivered. But still, they were talking over my head, even at that time. That's crazy. That is a lot. My next thing I want to go to in reference to Downtown Abbey was, why is it no longer on PBS? Abbey no longer on PBS. Alright, so I wanted to know why Downtown Abbey is no longer on PBS, because I mean that's originally where it started from, so why not keep it there? Downton Abbey is not on PBS because PBS lost the exclusive streaming and broadcast rights to the show, which expired in mid-2020. While PBS does not currently offer the series, some of the full seasons are available to stream on platforms like Peacock, Netflix, and BritBox. You can also access the series through PBS Passport, a member benefit available on some local PBS station sites. It's not the same though. It's not the same. Why Downtown Abbey is no longer on PBS? Rights expired. PBS and its associate Masterpiece, I remember that, PBS lost their licensee's rights to stream and broadcast the series, which set to expire in mid-2020. How did they lose that? Is it because they didn't want to continue to pay it? Did it have something to do with finances? How could they just lose the rights? Content availability varies. Streaming rights can change and may vary between different shows. Other streaming options. You can find these series on other streaming platforms. Of course, I want to know more. That's not telling me enough. Why did PBS stop streaming on there? So I'm going to do a deep dive overview and figure it out, okay? Why is Downtown Abbey no longer on PBS? This is the deep dive here. Downtown Abbey is no longer on PBS because its final season aired in 2016. The original British series concluded its television run. While streaming rights have come and gone over the years, the show is no longer a regular fixture on PBS. More specifically, yes, I need details. The series ended. The final season of Downton Abbey aired on PBS as part of its Masterpiece series in early 2016. Following the conclusion of the story, there have been no new television episodes for the network to air. Streaming rights change hands. Over the years, the streaming rights for the series have been licensed to various companies, including Amazon, Netflix, and Peacock Premium. making the show available on other platforms. PBS has had to negotiate for the rights to offer its own streaming service, PBS Passport. That's crazy. So why would they have to negotiate their own rights? PBS has had to negotiate for the rights to offer it on its own streaming service. That's messed up. It started there first. Why should they have to fight so hard if they started it there first? That's the unfairness of it. Availability on PBS Passport. PBS Passport. No. I lost my place. I lost my place. Availability on PBS Passport. Although the show is no longer available to watch for free on air through the standard PBS app, it has been available as a member-only streaming benefit called PBS Passport at certain times. This availability can be temporary, as the rights to stream the series can expire. Movies are separate. The two theatrical movies that follow the series, Downton Abbey 2019 and Downton Abbey A New Era, came out in 2022, are not included in the television rights and have been distributed through other channels. That's the shame when you got to go through all of those different platforms just to put the series together so you can watch it in order. It's a pity and a shame. Goodness. I want to know more. That's not enough. Downton Abbey first started on PBS. I thought when I went to Wikipedia, it actually was going to show me a chronological order of how it started. You know, like the origin of it all. Not specifically what I read far as the first season of the breakdown, season 1 through a million. Even though I did read what season 1 was about, just so I can remind myself of exactly what they talked about, refresh my memory of all the details, and see things in a different light. Now that I'm older, I really see that it was filled with drama and stuff, and I'm surprised, as over religious as my parents were, they allowed me to watch it. So I have Downtown Abbey first started on PBS. No, according to AI Overview, which I knew it didn't start there, but I'm trying to get somewhere. No, Downtown Abbey did not first start on PBS. It premiered in the UK on ITV in September 2010 before airing on PBS in the United States in January 2011. As part of the Masterpiece Classic Anthology, PBS supported the production and broadcast of this series as it aired in the US. Yes, because it fit well with that. So that's what it is, the Masterpiece Theater, basically the Masterpiece Collection, where it seems like all they showed were things like that. Let me make a tab in here so I can read this next. Explain to me the PBS Master Theater. What is it? The Masterpiece Theater. Masterpiece Classic Anthology. Okay. The Masterpiece Classic Anthology. It's like I'm in history class. Okay, so I'm getting that tab queued up so I can go right into it after this. So PBS supported the production and broadcast of the series as it aired in the United States. Here are the key details. UK premiere, September 26, 2010 on ITV. And then the US premiere, January 9th, 2011 on PBS as part of Masterpiece Classic. Yes, I need a deeper dive. Tell me more. I'm trying to gather as much information as possible. And the deep dive didn't say much, which brings me to my next tab. I want AI overview to please explain to me the PBS Masterpiece Classic Anthology section, right? The Masterpiece Classic Anthology was a specific programming strand of the long-running PBS series Masterpiece, presenting British period dramas, yes, and literary adaptations from 2008 to 2017. In 2017, the specific branding for the classic mastery and contemporary strands was dropped, and all new programming simply aired under the main Masterpiece title. And that's where I got things mixed up at. What's going on? Thank you for coming in. Good morning to you. So, under the umbrella of the Masterpiece Classic Anthology on PBS, they started running that from 2008. So that's where I got mixed up at, because when Downtown Abbey was introduced to PBS, it meshed right in with all the other shows that they were playing at that time. So I thought that it was one and the same. Okay, well, that answers my question, and it makes more sense to me. I'm trying to, as I put this all together, the pieces together, when I was first introduced to it was through PBS. History and background. Masterpiece, originally Masterpiece Theater. See, I remember that PBS Masterpiece Theater. They had cute little commercials. They were over exaggerated. Dun, 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 dun. Now it's time for PBS Classic Masterpiece Theater. And it would always show a guy like in the library, stirring tea or coffee and talking all like this. That was so fun. Thank you so much, U.S. Patriot. So yes, Masterpiece Theater. I did enjoy having that on as I grew older on PBS. It took me away from all the stuff that was on TV. It took me away from my own thoughts, because it was so out of this world. I just looked at what I could on there. I tried to follow along as much as I could. Life was pretty stressful back then, so it was a lot of things that I did not connect the dots on some of the conversations and topics they had going on during Downtown Abbey and some of the Masterpiece Theater TV shows. So a lot of the stuff did go over my head, but I knew they said something that they probably shouldn't have. Nonetheless, I could only retain at that time what I could, and I liked the shows in general, you know. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for pressing the like. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. So we have history and background. Masterpiece, originally Masterpiece Theater, is a drama anthology series that has aired on PBS since 1971. Wow. Yes. So it's been with us from quite some time, which explains my theory of, should I say theory? Which explains my thought processes, which led to confusion. I'm like, I thought Downton Abbey was on years before this. I just got it all mixed up, because PBS has been with us for quite some time. So PBS Masterpiece Theater was ongoing before I was born. So when I came into this planet and we only had basic TV, I was already getting accustomed to seeing Masterpiece Theater before I knew what Masterpiece Theater was. I just knew it was on TV. This is PBS. This is the kids channel that we watch. Blah, blah, blah. This is amazing. I'm so happy. I'm getting answers to my long-running questions right here. I am so happy. Now it's like I can go back. I want to buy all the Downton Abbey's movies and series. It's like now I can go back and watch all of this in peace without me wondering what was going on in the first place, right? I'm so happy. Wow. I've been getting so many of my questions answered. I'm so happy for year 2025. Wow. Let me put thank you for coming in. I know he's already gone, but I still want to say that. It's been a long time. A couple of my fellow cool peeps have stopped in today this morning. It makes it special. They're around from my Atlanta Journal Constitution days, which was this time last year. So to see that Lee came in and he's doing better, a health report. Keep Lee in your prayers that he can continue to be strong, but he did drop in with good news. I'm happy about that. U.S. Patriot dropped by to say hello. This is cool. The people from last year are swinging in. I'm so happy. Good morning to all you guys in Replay Gang. There we go. Let me put that in there. So, Masterpiece, history and background. Masterpiece, or originally Masterpiece Theater, is a drama anthology series that has aired on PBS since 1971. It is the longest running primetime drama series in American television history, produced by WGBH Boston. I am so happy. Initial format, 1971 to 2007. The original format was a general anthology showcasing acclaimed British productions, many adapted from classic novels, yes, and biographies, and yes, the first title aired was The First Churchills in 1971. This makes me want to just watch all of PBS Masterpiece Theaters all over again. I wonder if I can purchase it. I'm going to type that in my next tab. Is there a way I can PBS and then I'll read that answer later. Rebranding. In 2008, the series was rebranded from Masterpiece Theater to simply Masterpiece. I missed that because I liked the Masterpiece Theater because it was theater. Why would they take off the theater? That's what drew me in. Artsy, fartsy, Masterpiece Theater. So in 2008, the series was rebranded from Masterpiece Theater to simply Masterpiece, and was split into 3 distinct categories with individual hosts and branding. Masterpiece Classic focused on period dramas and literary adaptations. Masterpiece Mystery, which was fun, featured British detective and crime scenes. And that's what I was talking about. And since they're breaking it down into categories, when I talked about earlier, there is a series that's out. It's old now, but it had to do with around that time of the British detective and crime series under the topic of Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman. And they tied in Alfred from Batman. That was his time when he was young and spry. Alfred has a past, and they tied it back into like that type of period of like British crime scenes, which is cool. I had to catch up and watch that too, y'all. Masterpiece Contemporary presented drama set in the modern era. Return to single brand. So we've got Masterpiece Classic, Masterpiece Mystery, Masterpiece Contemporary. Returned to single brand in 2017. By the year 2017, the separate brands for Classic, Mystery, and Contemporary was discontinued, and all programming returned to being marked simply as Masterpiece. I wonder why they did that, and I do remember the breakdowns like that too. There was a woman and I think 2 guys. I know definitely for the Masterpiece Mystery there was a man because he had a monocle, I think, and he was in the library. At this time I think it was white because they did update stuff. I'll have to rewatch all that stuff again. But those were good times. Programming a masterpiece classic by way of PBS. It says, I have, please explain to me the PBS Masterpiece Classic Anthology. And I'm currently on Programming the Masterpiece Classic. During its run, Masterpiece Classic became known for its lavish and highly detailed historical productions. Now, when I first started, I didn't have those words. I didn't know those words, like lavish and stuff. But that was what drew me to watching it. Because of that, I thought back then the stuff was really detailed, and it caught my eye. The detail in the gowns, the dresses, the balls, the ballrooms, the foods, the atmosphere. It was as if I was looking through a looking glass and looking at a real lifetime happening somewhere else on another linear type of planet. That's what it made me feel like, because I never saw it before. It seemed so real. It was really cool how they brought all of those things to life. So, programming a Masterpiece Classic. During its run, Masterpiece Classic became known for its lavish and highly detailed historical productions, including adaptations of classic literature, Bleak House in 2005, The Complete Jane Austen in 2008, Tom Jones in 2023, historical dramas, Downton Abbey, Victoria, All Creatures Great and Small, Poldark, popular series that premiered under the classic banner, Sherlock. There we go. So I had to watch that back to see if they touched on Alfred being in there. Because Sherlock, I think Alfred was friends with Sherlock in passing, or they shared some type of history or a bond to make them be kind of close to the hip. So I need to rewatch Sherlock to see if I see any hints or signs of life in reference to Alfred being applied into that series. And then the fourth saga. Yes, I need a deep dive overview to see what else is going on. Please explain to me the PBS Masterpiece Classic Anthology. We are heavy in it. Can you believe I'm already an hour in? Hi, Chile. Thank you. You're going to make me blush. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm finding out answers to questions I've had for many years in reference to Downton Abbey. Basically, PBS, it did have a Masterpiece Theater. They no longer call it Masterpiece Theater anymore, but it's what I grew up on. And it's saying all the things I was trying to describe to other people who, now that I realize, they just weren't into that stuff or too cowardly to admit. It has so many things in there that drew my attention, from the wardrobe, the costume, the details to the foods, the scenery, the music. When I was younger watching Masterpiece Theater on PBS, it was very inspirational. It helped me keep me out of my own head. It was so different that it kept my attention enough to not be in my sad state of life that I was in growing up. This Masterpiece Theater has been around since like 1971. So it was here, way before, I was put on this earth. So I grew up with it, which is why I thought Downton Abbey was the same thing. It was hard for me to tell the two apart, because Masterpiece Theater basically focused on shows like that from the past, from the British side. So I thought it was all the same thing. I thought Downton Abbey was out years prior, but that's not the case. But the years prior, that is the case, is the fact that through Masterpiece Theater on PBS, which is a non-cable TV production, they focused on themes of TV shows from that period of the old British time and courtship and kingship and rulership. That's why I got the lines blurred. That's where I got the lines blurred at. But it took me all these years to find my answer, and by gosh, I'm deeply happy. I was telling my YouTube peeps and cool peeps in here that now it gives me a whole new reason to want to watch all of the Downton Abbeys again. And I have a tab open that's fired up for me to read to see where in the Hades I can buy, if available, the complete collection of PBS Masterpiece Theater collection to have. I am deeply happy, and I don't know why it took me years to find this answer, but I found it. I am so happy. It makes me, it just rebirthed me. It just rebirthed anew the whole PBS masterpiece, everything, into a new way now that it's not shaped in bad memories. I no longer have to, when I think about Masterpiece Theater, my place of reference is no longer me being stuck in the toxic environment and upbringing put away in my room and watching that as a way to escape from the realities of life. Now I can watch it through a new lens in my fully unlocked artsy fartsy mind, as it should have been received to me in the first place. I am very joyed over this. It's very cool. It's like I'm seeing it. It's renewed for the very first time through the eyes of a child, as it should have been done. And I'm very happy. So I'm going to continue reading about all this good news in reference to Masterpiece Theater and how happy I am about it. I'm so happy. I don't like that one. Let me find some hearts, because I'm getting ready to celebrate like this for myself. I'm so happy to have found my answers. Yay! I'm so happy to have found my answers. Woo! I've been discovering so much just by live streaming, leading into the topics that I feel compelled to talk about. And by me doing so, I'm getting answers to questions that I've been wondering for many years. Just in the name of having fun and following my heart and talking about subjects that seem to interest me. What's going on, Nathan Gilbert? I'm currently putting hearts in the chat because I'm celebrating myself over celebrating regarding REGARD finding answers to lifelong questions. Yay! So that's why I'm putting all these hearts in here. I'm currently celebrating regarding finding answers to lifelong questions. I'm so happy to be far removed from dark people from my past who intentionally wanted to keep me in the dark. For example, the whole Downton Abbey situation. PBS, of course, they've been on for forever. PBS here has been running the Masterpiece Theater for ages. And I always wondered I always thought that Downton Abbey existed years before the actual start date. But what I found out is that by me growing up and being born into watching PBS Masterpiece Theater, I didn't realize that it was all driven on like the British sitcoms and shows and period based, like the Jane Eyre type of stuff. So along comes Downton Abbey, and I thought it was all the same thing. Because once again, I just thought it was all the same thing. So I was searching for years, wondering, like, didn't Downtown Abbey come out years ago? But I was always running into dead ends. But yeah, stuff like that. And the miracles of Masterpiece Theater in general. So continuing on, in my deep dive overview, I have Please Explain to Me the PBS Masterpiece Classic Anthology. I'm going to drop down right here back to 2008. It says the franchise was officially rebranded simply as Masterpiece. It was then divided into three themed seasonal anthologies to help viewers find the content they preferred, such as Masterpiece Classic, Masterpiece Mystery, and Masterpiece Contemporary. In 2017, the seasonal branding was largely dropped, and the distinct anthology blocks were discontinued. All programming was simply presented under the unified Masterpiece banner. Though the content still falls into the classic, mystery, and contemporary categories. I was there when I saw those changes. When you're running any type of production, you do go through the changes to try different things to see if it will work. Because you don't want to confuse people. You want to keep them on your platform, especially if they're interested in enjoying it. So I understand why they went through rebranding. But I was saddened when they completely took away the Masterpiece Theater. I was sad when they dropped the word theater from it, because it gave it a sense of air and made it more special. It just seems so much more special when the word theater was added to it. I would love for them to bring it back, because it related to me, like the artsy fartsy people. I'm like, this is something for us, and there's thousands of artsy fartsy people. So for them to drop the theater, it saddened me. It took away some of the whimsical appeal, thusly letting in the people who are scared to go into the theater category to enter. But I still feel some type of way about it. That's just like going to the Art Institute, because you're an artsy fartsy person, so you go to the Arts Institute or Full Sail University and they drop off the sale. I'm like, I don't want to go here now because I liked it for the name and what it stood for. Or if you go to the Art Institute to pursue a career in the arts or anything cool far as design, like far as making the Toy Story cartoons and stuff, or animations, if they drop the art out of the institute, it's just simply institute and it's blah. It kills the impact of the reason of why you're going to these cool places in the first place. And that's how I still feel in reference to PBS dropping the theater. I feel like they killed it in this essence and the uniqueness of it all. I know times change, but dog, come on. Sounds like a plan. I really think they should put the theater back into that. There's a place for everyone, and we need a place too. Content of Masterpiece Classic. I'm going to grab my ink pen because and let how I feel about them dropping the theater from PBS. Masterpiece You darn right. And that's what I'm putting on my notes now. So, content of Masterpiece Classic. During its run, Masterpiece Classic became known for its high-quality, often lush productions and A-list talent. Now, before I knew what these words were, as far as I was watching it because of those reasons. It set up a whole new world that I've never seen on TV. And it had me stuck wanting to watch as much as I could, far as attention span wise. So, content of Masterpiece Classic. During its run, Masterpiece Classic became known for its high quality, often lush productions and A-list talent. The programming included adaptation of classic novels, biographies, and historical dramas. Yes. Let me look for the letter. L-E-T-T. There. No, that's not what I want. W-R-I. I tell you. Good idea. So I have here, the programming included adaptations of novels, biographies, and historical dramas. Notable shows presenting during the Masterpiece Classic era include Downton Abbey, a mass international hit about the aristocratic Crawley family and their servants in the early 20th century. Sherlock, yes, a modern but still period theme reimagining of the classic detective. I do remember that. All Creatures Great and Small, the reboot of a beloved classic about a veterinarian practice in Yorkshire Dales. How could you not like that? How could you not want to sit down and watch that? All I want to do is just have my blanket out, my chocolate covered snacks, watch that outside of my backyard, and have like the projector screen. Poldark, a romantic period drama set in Cornwall. Victoria, a drama following the life of Queen Victoria. That too sounds interesting to watch. PBS, man, features of the anthology host. For a time, each seasonal anthology had its own host, which is true. Good morning. For each seasonal anthology had its own host. Gillian Anderson and later Laura Linney hosted Masterpiece Classic. Yes, the lady and the guy. Distinct branding. Each block had its own unique theme, which is true. Music and opening sequence. Yes, though all were based on the original Masterpiece theme by Jan Joseph Mort. Wow, y'all, I have to get back into watching this. Legacy. While the Masterpiece Classic name is no longer used, the programming style it represented continues to be a staple of the Masterpiece lineup. Many of the shows that aired during this period are still available to stream through PBS services. Wow. I may come back to this. I have a tab open because I want to know if I could buy the collection of the Masterpiece Theater, when they called it the Masterpiece Theater Collection. According to AI Overview, answering my question, thank you AI Overview, you can purchase the PBS Masterpiece Theater Collection digitally through the Masterpiece channel on Amazon, or by buying DVDs and Blu-rays from the retailers like Amazon, Walmart, or eBay. You can also purchase DVDs directly from pbsdistribution.org. That is nice to know. I have Bluey on in the background. Mom! Yay! That show is so good. I like Peppa Pig too. I haven't seen many of the new episodes except for the commercial that ran that they're having a baby. Ooh, they gonna need a bigger house. Oh man. The Papa Pig was like, we're having a baby. And the mom was like, I'm the one. No, it was funny. So, digital purchase options. Amazon PBS Masterpiece channel, guys. You can subscribe to the PBS Masterpiece streaming service to Amazon. Wait, you can subscribe to the PBS Masterpiece streaming service through Amazon to access many other shows, guys. PBS Passport. A subscription to PBS Passport, available through your local PBS station website, provides access to many Masterpiece shows. Physical DVD Blu-ray purchase options, pbsdistribution.org. You know, I never thought to go there to see their store. And then Amazon. And then also other retailers like Walmart. I had to look this up. So there is a way to purchase Masterpiece Theater. I need to put this in here. This is good news, and I'm going to share it. Let me find my popcorn emoji. Popcorn. I want to share that. You can purchase the PBS Masterpiece Theater Collection digitally through the PBS Masterpiece channel on Amazon, or by buying DVDs and Blu-rays. I'm so happy about that. That is a must. Deeper dive. Let's see what else it has to say. It pretty much told me all I need and want to know by way of if I can, because I want this legacy to continue on in my family. I want to have these things on in the background, you know, to play the things that inspire me. Is there any way I can purchase PBS Masterpiece Theater Collection? In the deep dive overview, it says you can purchase PBS Masterpiece shows through streaming services or on physical media like DVDs and Blu-rays. Wow, I might have to get the Blu-ray one from various online retail stores. As you can see on my thumbnail, I do have Downton Abbey Blu-ray on there. Stream the collection. PBS Passport. Are you guys subscribed to PBS Passport? This is a special member benefit for people who donate to their local PBS station. With a donation of at least $5 per month or a lump sum of $60 or more, you can get extended access to an on-demand library of PBS favorites, including many Masterpiece shows. So I do like that they are still frugal in price. Access to the shows can be made via the free PBS app on mobile devices or smart TVs. Through Amazon Prime Video, for a monthly fee, you can subscribe to PBS Masterpiece channel through Amazon Prime Video service. I want to watch this on DVD. I want to get the full submersive experience through DVD because it's the close proximity to how I watched it growing up as a child. Even though it's on DVD, I'm still playing it from my TV and I'm not streaming. I want to be able to have a tangible copy. Ooh. PBS Retail Partners. PBS Distribution directs customers to several retail partners for DVD purchases. Since its own online store. What? Since its own online store, Shop PBS.org is no longer in operation. What's happening to PBS? Oh. Local bookstores and electronic stores, large chains like Barnes and Nobles, often carry physical copies. No poop, Sherlock! I want to get it from there. Why is PBS online store closed? Why? What's going on with PBS? Are they leaving us? Are they doing... Is the economy that bad? Why is PBS online store closed? The PBS online store was closed in the late 2024. That was last year. But this was a business decision to shift to digital distribution and other platforms like Amazon and Walmart, rather than a direct result of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, CPB's, recent shutdown. The CPB's closure announced in August 2025 due to loss of federal funding. What? Funding affects the... Wait a second. The CPB's closure, announced in August 2025 due to a loss of federal funding, affects the funding for local PBS stations, but the PBS online store closures preceded this major event. Why the PBS online store closed? Shift to digital media. The primary reason for PBS online stores closures was the overall trend of phasing out physical media like DVDs and a growing preference for digital streaming. Y'all gonna get enough of streaming and everything. You gotta get tangible copies of stuff. Availability on other platforms. PBS media and merchandise can still be purchased on platforms like Amazon, Target, Walmart, and Barnes & Nobles. Shop PBS closures. The official Shop PBS website was closed on November 4th, 2024. Wow. I need to read all of this so I can have a full understanding between PBS and CPBs. The CPB's recent shutdown, which is known as Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and why it's different from the store closure: loss of federal funding. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which provides federal funds to PBS and NPR, announced it would begin winding down operations in August 2025. That's last month, after Congress rescinded its funding. Congress rescinded its funding for an educational TV channel? Not the store. This shutdown impacts PBS and NPR's funding, but it was not the reason the PBS online store closed. The store closure happened months earlier as a separate business decision. The CPB's main role to fund local public radio and television stations, and its closures will have significant repercussions for them. You think? Wow. In the deeper dive, it says, why is PBS online store closed? The PBS online store, formerly known as Shop PBS, closed permanently because the company that fulfilled orders declared bankruptcy. Bankruptcy of Universal Screen Arts. Universal Screen Arts, the company that operated the online store and handled merchandise fulfillment for PBS, declared bankruptcy in 2024, guys. Store closure announced. Following this development, PBS announced in November 2024 that the online store will no longer be operating. I'm getting cold. Continued availability of merchandise. While the dedicated PBS online store is gone, merchandise including DVDs of PBS programs can still be found through other online retailers like Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Nobles. The cool people have provided have provided in the survey. And I asked, do you watch Downton Abbey? 25% said yes, 62% said no, and 12% said you never heard of it, which is fine by me. That's why you're here to figure it out. Come this time tomorrow in the replay gang, compliments of AI overview incorporating itself into all of our social media applications. You'll be able to see a summary of all the things I've talked about, so you'll be able to touch on the timestamp to specifically get to certain topics instead of watching the whole thing all the way through. This time tomorrow you'll be able to see that. Wow. That's crazy. So for a refresher course, let me type in what is AI mode. What is Downton Abbey? Downton Abbey is a British historical drama television series, as well as a film series that chronicles the lives of the aristocratic Crawley family and their domestic servants in the early 20th century. The story takes place at the fictional Yorkshire county estate of Downtown Abbey, using the real-life Highclere Castle as its primary filming location. So it's actually using a real location on set. Really cool. Let me see if I can put, I'm going to put this right into the description. Copy. So if you don't mind, I am going to open up my tab and go to my description page, and I'm going to put this in here as I patiently wait for the page to load. Alright, as Elay patiently waits for the page to load, I am going to put the description into, I'm going to put these words into the description. Content, oh wow, the page is still refreshing. Just a second. Loading, waiting for the page to load. Let's see here. It's a tough crowd today. I guess no one wants to know about Downtown Abbey but me. Moving forward, let me open up this. I will be reading from Wikipedia about Downton Abbey. And let me type this in according to AI overview. And push paste. Downtown Abbey. And for the record, let me put start quote. And end quote. I don't want to put that. There. And push save. So I put it in the description now. It's right at the top. But before that, I'm going to put a couple of calls in there. Will you help me build this world? There's the cow. We're going to put a sunflower seed in there. Alright? So if you want to, you can refresh the page and it'll show that I put, what Downtown Abbey is according to AI overview right at the top of the description for all the world to see. And then when I get finished with the live, I don't have to go back and type it in either. What's going on, Alex? Good morning to you. Man, it is 6:33 a.m. over here on the glorious Tuesday morning. It's September 9th, 2025. And I'm just rolling around here through the YouTube talking about PBS and Downton Abbey. I just finished out a good segment about PBS. and all the shift changes that are happening with them. Thank you for coming in. So right here, I read about what Downtown Abbey is, according to AI Overview. The TV series. The television series created by Gillian Fellows aired for 6 seasons from 2010 to 2015. The series begins in 1912 with the news of the Titanic sinking, which jeopardizes the estate's succession and introduces a distant cousin as the new heir. The show covers major historical events including World War I and the rise of the Jazz Age, exploring how these changes affect the lives of the estate's residents. The films. The franchise continued with several feature films after the TV series concluded. Downton Abbey in year 2019. The film focuses on the royal visit to the estate by King George V, I think that's 5, y'all, and Queen Mary. Downton Abbey, A New Era in year 2022. The story follows the Crawley family on a trip to the south of France to uncover a mystery surrounding the newly inherited villa. Well, that sounds fun, don't it? Downton Abbey, the grand finale scheduled for 2025. This is the third and final film in the series, y'all. We're getting ready to wrap it up. Wow. It's coming to theaters. That's what surprised me. The drama is known for its detailed portrayal of the era's costumes, set design, and social structures. It explores the class dynamics between the wealthy owners and their staff, touching on issues of class, definitely, romance, social change, and family duty. While the series is fictional, it weaves its story through real historical events, providing a glimpse into a rapidly changing world. That's pretty darn cool, isn't it? I think so. I've been on here for 1 hour and 30 minutes, but it seems as though I only talked about the topic for an hour. But within that, so it seems to be an hour, I've learned so much stuff for myself. A big miracle in all of that. Who would have thought I was going to come up here and find answers for myself? That was not expected. It's crazy how miracles just work out in different ways. I'm going to continue to go through this day expecting more miracles to happen for me in ways that I cannot possibly imagine. I tell you, this has been a glorious year for me and for my family. I really like how this emoji is popping up. Isn't that cute? We got someone with earphones on, kind of like myself, writing with a pencil, popcorn. I really like those emojis. Those are really cute. So, wow, did I read all that already? Yeah, I did. So, when is the movie coming out? Let me find it. When is the... Let me see. When is the movie coming out? Downtown Abbey movie release date. Let me see. Okay, Downton Abbey, the grand finale, guys. It's coming out September 12th, 2025. Following the announcement of several cast members reprising their roles in May, filming began that month and concluded in August. The official title was announced in March 2025. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, is scheduled to be released by Focus Features on September 12, 2025. It's coming out in a few days, guys, to theaters. What do you think about that? I think that is grand and awesome, especially in the new light that I've come under and finding answers to all of my questions. It seems like this specific live stream was just for me. I'm so happy. I'm getting ready to close the poll and wait for it to load up over here. It says, do you watch Downton Abbey? 55% of you said no, which is why there's nobody in here watching the live stream. But I'm trusting the replay gang to pick that up on there. That's what comes with talking about multiple topics. Sometimes they're hits, sometimes they're misses. But now on this platform, since you guys don't watch it, I have informed you of Downton Abbey and how I was first introduced to it. And perhaps if you're curious, you can watch a few episodes to see the things that I talked about it and see if you can relate to how I feel when I saw it. I really like the costume work. I recommend you watch the old ones that came out before you watch the movie. You'll be able to see just how beautifully made the costume is. The set is made. And on top of that, I was reading that the authentic thing on there is the castle. So I think that's cool. The Downton Abbey Castle. So, I'm glad I started making my summary because we don't want to forget about the main event, the castle in Downton Abbey. Yes, thank you, AI Overview. The Downton Abbey Castle is real. It is Highclere Castle in Hampshire, England, guys. Highclere Castle is a historic country house that has been home of the Caravan family for centuries and currently serves as the backdrop for the popular TV show and films. You can visit the castle and its grounds on guided tours on select dates throughout the year. Key facts about the Highclere Castle. Location: it is located in Newbury, England, within the Hampshire countryside. Ownership: the castle is owned by the 8th Earl of Caravan and his wife, Lady Fiona. Isn't that amazing that it's historically tied to real roots? And they tied it in with the show, making the whole fictional show more real. Architecture: the castle was designed by Sir Charles Barry, the same architect who designed London's House of Parliament. Historical significance: the estate has links to the discovery of King Tutankhamun's home, as the 5th Earl of Caravan founded the expedition. Visitor information: Highclere Castle opens to visitors on select dates throughout the year, and you can find more information on their official website. Downtown Abbey connection: the show creator Julian Fellows has a friendship with the Caravans, which led to Highclere Castle becoming the iconic home of the Crawley family. And that is where I'll end the Downton Abbey everything on here. Shouts out to the castle. And I do remember watching the tour of the castle and the celebration thereof, of how this same thing I read, the same thing was said in like a video I watched, of how they were able to incorporate the real lineage into the Downton Abbey by way of having permission to use the castle. So I thought that was cool because this seems to be spot on. What I'm wondering is the whole Tutankhamun tomb thing, as far as tying into historical significance. But outside of that, everything else I do remember. What a great video, guys. My name is LA, pronounced like LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. I have went over the whole Downton Abbey. I read season 1 summary, and I encourage you guys to just watch. Even if you don't want to hear it, put it on mute and just look at the detail of the costume work, the makeup, the hairstyles, the food, the color coordination, the patterns. When they have their balls and the dances, it's the same thing. Look at all the detail that the cast and crew did to make this look as realistic and authentic as possible. Having said that, I'll sign out with the morning moo song. Shimmer, shimmer, I'm finna thank you for coming in. I had a good time. See y'all next video. Bye.